Hey, what is up, everybody? My name's Shane, the Joke Fan, and welcome to New Year! Happy New Year, everybody! Happy New Year! Yes, it's finally here. It's 2017. I never thought it'd feel so good. So, it's New Year. And I'm here to complain about 2 years ago. I'm not kidding, I'm here to complain about 2016 and 2017, and 2015. So, believe it or not, I may not show it, but I am sad that these events happen. I might not show it, though. I'm weird that way. Anyway, so, let's start with 2015. Might as well. So, what did 2015 have to offer? At the beginning, it was fine. January, February, March, it was fine. Good year. It started out as a good year. Everything was normal. Just near the end of March, though, my mom had cut her finger right about here. Right about there. And April came by. She started feeling sick. My mom started getting really sick. I mean sick. Like, she couldn't move. She felt aches and pains. She felt like she was going to throw up if she stood up. It wasn't good to watch her suffer. It gradually got to when she couldn't even leave her bedroom. She was puking at night. Like, eventually she was puking at nighttime. And, now I know because I don't sleep that well. I don't. I'll take my glasses off. I don't know if you can see it, but you see those purple rings under my eyes? That's because I don't sleep that well. I really don't. I can't sleep at nighttime. I don't know why. But I can't. So I heard her vomit for most of the time. And then, about a week into her vomiting, like every night, I got up out of bed. I went, Mom, could you please go see a doctor? Please. For my sake, go see a doctor. Because, like, I'm a kid worried about his mom. I was only 15 at the time. So, yeah. So I ended up asking her. She said she would go and see the doctor the next day. She'd go out and see the doctor. My mom doesn't like hospitals, so at the time I didn't know that. But, so, that day, the morning that this event happened, it was a normal day. I came back from school. Pretty sure it was a Friday. Yeah, I'm sure it was a Friday. Went upstairs, got dressed. Went downstairs. Started talking to my brothers, watched a bit of TV, had some laughs, had some giggles. It was a normal day. My sister comes in asking us to keep it a little quiet, so we said okay. She goes in to make sandwich or super noodles or whatever the fuck she was gonna do. We ended up, and then my Auntie Doreen and my dad to come in. And we were like, Auntie Doreen, hey. Sorry, my nose is irritating me for some reason, I don't know why. This is just before my Auntie Doreen took to the death streak of a certain individual, whose name shall not be leaked to the internet. So yeah. And so they went upstairs to see my mom, because my Auntie Doreen hadn't seen her for a few days, and she wanted to make sure her sister was okay. So yeah. So, next thing I know, my dad runs downstairs. He runs downstairs, grabs the phone, shouts, Lorraine. She comes into the living room. What's wrong? And he goes, keep the boys downstairs. Boys, stay downstairs. Please. You don't want to see this. So, my sister ran upstairs as well, along with my dad. My dad grabs the phone, as I said. And he goes, hello, ambulance, please. I'm like, what's wrong with Mom? Because I knew instantly there was something wrong with my mom. I didn't know what, but there was something wrong. And so, yeah. My sister comes back downstairs and goes, boys, please stay upstairs. Please stay downstairs. I went, okay. So I ended up staying downstairs, not knowing anything, until I heard a chap on the door. I didn't open the door. My dad runs downstairs, gets the door, and he goes, the ambulance. They let them in. It's two paramedics, a man and a woman. The woman's holding a wheelchair, so they both go upstairs. The boy's got some big heavy equipment, and the woman's carrying the wheelchair and some other equipment. And so, a couple of minutes pass. I'm sniffing a lot because I got a cold starting, so, or because I think it's cold, I don't know. Anyway, so I ended up not knowing anything until I started hearing banging on the stairs. So it was like, boom, 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 boom. So I knew they were coming downstairs. Now, for the record, me and my youngest brother, we do not get along. We don't get along that well. It comes into play. Jeez, why am I so tired? Anyway, so I ended up. I didn't see my mom, but I seen her, like her leg, from the stairs when they were coming down. I was like, at the time, I broke down. Like, I was fine for a few minutes, but then after a while, I broke down. We ended up spending most of the time. April, strangely, it was really sunny during April, isn't it? Remember 2015? April was really sunny. I don't know why, but it was sunny. Like, almost every day was sunny. Weird. Anyway. So I ended up spending most of my time... Sorry. So I ended up spending most of my time at my dad's parents' house. Well, God bless their soul for taking us in, like, for looking after us during that hard period. But yeah, they did. They looked after us for a decent amount of time. So yeah. So it's not actually New Year at the moment, right? So so I'll be talking for a little bit. It's nearly New Year, but not quite. So hopefully though. So thanks to them for looking after us. But my mom, she was really sick. She was in a coma for about 8 days. She had a bunch of machines in her. She had a bunch of medicine going into her. A bunch of different bloods going into her. Her blood type's changed. Her blood type is now different from what it used to be. Don't know what it used to be, and I don't know what it is now. Hell, I don't even know my blood type. So yeah. So yeah. So so yeah. I got off topic. I forgot where I was at. Oh yeah, I remember now. So thanks to them. So after a while, my mom started getting a bit better because they took her out. They tried to take her out of the coma about 3 times. About 3 times, she kept attacking the doctors in her sleep, basically. God, thank. Anyway, so eventually they managed to get her out of the coma. Eventually, every time my dad would pick us up from his parents' house, I'd be like, "So how was mom?" And he'd go, "It's good. It's okay. There's another machine out of her. It's okay. Every day is a new machine getting taken out of her. She's gonna be okay." The doctor said that she's gonna be okay. From what she was given, she was okay. Because my dad did say to me that the nurse that he had spoken to that night did say, "I don't know. I wouldn't give yourself high hopes of her surviving tonight." Which is not good if nurses and doctors are paid to give you hope and they're telling you that you might not survive the night. That's not good. They should not be paying you to say that. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway. So yeah, so my mom was getting better in the hospital. My sister, my ex-sister, she tried her own way of dealing with her grief. Allegedly not true. That's what these inverted commas mean. Grief. So, so she ended up trying to subdue her grief with alcohol and parties at my house. So she ended up inviting her friends over to our house, then going outside, leaving those friends at our house to go pick up more friends to bring back to the house, which upset my dad. My dad's trying to juggle 4 kids, his job, my mom's sick in hospital, and all my mom's daily tasks as well. You explain how that's going to deal, how you would deal with that. So yeah. So my dad was going through a hard time as well. So eventually when my mom was well enough to sit up and talk, and they moved her out of this sick ward. She was in a really severely sick ward in St. John's Hospital. And then they moved her into another ward, which was the same ward my nana was put into a good few years ago. So, so yeah. So my dad told my Auntie Doreen. My Auntie Doreen said, "You've got to tell Eileen." And he went, "No, I don't want to upset her." He's like, "No, it won't upset her. It'll make her realize how loyal her kids really are." Now, it wasn't that I was being in trouble. My sister was trying to manipulate me and my 2 brothers into going up against my dad. That's not something you want. You don't want your parents hating. You don't want to be hating your parents. You want to be loving your parents. Unless they deserve to be hated. But my dad did not deserve to be hated. Anyway, so what happened was they told my mom. My mom asked for my sister to come see her, and she went, "Get out. Pack a bag and get out." And so my mom sent her on her way. She now lives in Edinburgh somewhere with her own family. Now, remember how I said she had friends come over? Now, she had hung about with some shady characters. I mean shady characters. You don't believe me? If you ever type her name into Google Images, her name is Lorraine Tarbett. If you look about the 3rd photo, now if you imagine this is your screen, 1, 2, 3, it should be about 3 photos of her. One of her, like, with a choker, one of her that looks like she's twerking someone. There should be a guy right there. 3rd photo in. There should be a guy there with curly hair and weird flashes in his eyes. He is a convicted rapist. He became a convicted rapist in the beginning of 2016. So that tells you the shady characters my sister hung about with. I'm just telling you the truth here. You heard it here first. Anyway, so alright guys, it's nearly 12:45, so I've still got another couple stories to tell, so don't worry about it. So it ended up, my mom got well, and they said, and May came about, May 1st, they said, your mom will be able to come back, that my mom would be able to come back at about the 25th of May, just before my birthday. I was like, thank you, God, you've answered my prayers, because a few days before I had prayed to God. I used to pray to God a lot. I don't pray to him as much as I used to, but I did. I don't care if you're an atheist, that you do you, I'll do me. I believe in God, you believe in nobody. That's up to you. So, yeah, so I ended up, where was I, Jesus? I forgot where it was at, fuck. This was kicked down. Oh, yeah, so, sorry. So I ended up, 24th of May, I was like, my mom's coming home tomorrow, yes, I'm so excited. Went to school, so happy. I was like, my mom's getting home from hospital tomorrow, and everybody's like, oh, good for you, buddy, you're really upset for that whole week, for the whole month of April, I'm really happy for you. Because the whole month of April, I was in a dark place. I was having really fucked up thoughts in here. We're talking about, like, self-harming kind of fucked up thoughts. I don't know if it's fucked up thoughts, but it is in my mind. I'm sorry if you do self-harm. I'm not judging you. It's just in my mind. For me to do it, it's fucked up. It's what I think. There'd be times like that. I'd be making myself a sandwich. I'd take the knife out of the cupboard. I'd stare at the knife. Just like. I'd get the jam out of the fridge. Open the jam. Spread the jam on the bread. Clean the knife with my hand. Just wipe it off. Put it in. And just put that on the bread. Open the cupboard. Get the peanut butter. Spread the peanut. Get the peanut butter. Spread the peanut butter. Wipe that off. I just force that off. Put this in the sink. Wrap it up. Then I remembered I need to cut it. So I put in the two halves together. Get it out of the sink. Give it a little wipe. Cut it in half. Clean it. Start the knife again. Like, I don't mean like thinking of cutting myself. I mean like I just stare at it and do nothing. Like, you know, when you daydream, you just stare at one thing, you don't fucking move, and everybody wonders if you're okay. They go, yo, man, are you okay? You're like, yeah, man, I'm just daydreaming. That's what I was doing, just daydreaming, looking at this knife. At the blade, at the tips mostly. Like silver, like cutlery knife, not knives, not like fucking serrated edge knives. I know, I put it away, pick up the sandwich, the two halves I made, and turn around and go, the fuck was that? Because that's me. Like, there was, like, at that time, there was two halves of me. It was the fucked up half of me thinking of fucked up things, and then half of me that that you all know and love so much. That was like, what the fuck are you doing? So, yeah. It ended up spreading in my dreams as well, so I ended up thinking that. So I ended up having to think my way through that. So, yeah. About 24th of May, my mom was home. I was like, but she was supposed to come home tomorrow, and they're like, nah, they let her home a day early. I was like, I wanted to hug her, but she was still pretty sick and still a little sore, so I put my hand on her shoulder. I said, I'm really happy you're home, Mom. I'm going to go up and get dressed. So I ran upstairs and got dressed. I never smiled so much, like so hard in my life. 2016, we don't move on to that yet. Just, now, that had passed. Now, just after summer, so we're talking maybe August, September-ish, around about those 2 periods. My Uncle Stephen started having some family troubles. Now, I'm saying, I think I mentioned this in my Christmas vlog. My Uncle Stephen died at the beginning of this year. So this is my Uncle Stephen right here. Loved by all. I'm going to be reading this to you in a minute, but I'll read that in a minute. I won't tell you why he had, what problems he had. That's his family's business. But, yeah. So, he had some family trouble, and he ended up basically going through depression. As far as I could tell, he was depressed. So, yeah. It was hard looking at him going from what he looks like here to, he was, like, getting thin. His beard was growing out crazy. He wasn't eating. My mom said he wasn't eating. He was drinking. It was horrible to see him like that. He came around my house every week for company because he was by himself. His wife took the kids to her place. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so it was a hard time. So yeah. Anyway, so the hard time came when 1 week during just near the end of November, so roughly near December time, he collapsed in his house by himself. He lay there from Monday till Friday. He was lying in his house for a week. Just unconscious kind of thing. So yeah. It was sad. So yeah. So I ended up going to hospital. St. John's was full, and I mean full. So I'm just trying to hold this. So yeah. So it was really sad. I was upset about it. I mean upset. My mom showed me a photo of what he looked like in hospital. It was hard to look at. He had a tube in his mouth trying to help him to breathe. He had a bunch of wires conversing all over him. My dad said it was literally like looking at you again. So yeah. So I really hope. So I had really hoped. I was like, and I looked at this guy. I was like, God, you help my mom get out of hospital. Please help my Uncle Stephen, please. I had went to the shops not that long after he was put in the hospital, and I'd bought something. I'm just gonna put this down. Show you. I'm gonna take my watch off. Now, if you watch my vlogs a lot, you'll notice I wear this watch all the time. This is the watch I bought my Uncle Stephen for his Christmas in 2015. He was in hospital at Christmas time. But I had wrapped it up and I wrote Uncle Stephen from Shane. It cost me nearly 90 quid. My mom wasn't too happy that it cost nearly 90 quid. But she knew that it was from the heart. So I ended up, in my mind, I went, as soon as he's out of hospital, I'm going to his house. I'm going to give him this. I'm going to say, here's your present, Uncle Stephen. Merry Christmas. I never got the chance to do that. My Uncle Stephen passed away in the hospital on the 3rd of January, 2016. 3 days into the new year, where we prayed. I swear to God, I had prayed that he'd get out for noon. He'd get out. So yeah. So, my Uncle Stephen ended up dying in hospital. My mom said he was taken off life support, and he only took 2 breaths of his own before he died. And then to add salt to the wound, my real father died in my granddad's house from kidney failure the week after, the 10th of January. Which is specifically a week and a day, which is specifically a whole week after my Uncle Stephen died. I took an entire week off school that week, because I could not face, I couldn't go in. My head was all over the place. I didn't know what to think. I wasn't as upset that my dad had died then as my Uncle Stephen, because I didn't know my dad that well. Because I was taken off my parents when I was 5 and put into a care unit, which was when I was given a new chance of life here with my mom and my dad. I don't know, I might show them in this video. I probably won't, because they're not, I won't, no. They're not big fans of cameras. You know what I'm saying? Alright guys, it's 5-2. Be happy, it's 5 to 5, it's 5 to 12, so it's nearly the new year. So yeah. So my Uncle Stephen's funeral was the 28th of January. My dad's crematorium, he decided to have my grandfather decided to give him a cremation, mainly because I don't think he had the insurance to bury my dad, or couldn't afford it, one of those two. It costs about over £3,000 for a funeral. It only costs about 1,000, like a 2,000 odd quid for a crematorium. Anyway, so I ended up, so I went to my Uncle Stephen's funeral. It was very good. A lot of people turned up. His kids turned up. His wife turned up. All my cousins, my Uncle Stephen's friends came up. One of my Uncle Stephen's friends, Jamie, he comes and visits every month or so, every couple weeks or so, just for a wee chat, watch a bit of football, and talk about stuff. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so we went. It was a beautiful funeral, good service. I'm going to read this, and I'm going to continue. This is from his kids. This was from his daughter and his son. This is called His Journey. Thinking of you, Dad, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and the day before. That too. Oh, sorry. And the day before that too. We'll think about you tomorrow, and as the year comes and goes, we will think about you forever because we love you so. Rosie and Sean. That was my uncle's 2 kids. My Uncle Stephen was 52 years old when he died. I love him very much. He was very close to my heart. He was a cool uncle. He had a bunch of awesome tattoos. He played the guitar. If you go on if you look on the YouTube channel, see if you go on playlist, go down and look for Livy's First Punk. You'll find my Uncle Stephen's band. There's a couple live events. There's a couple live tours. He's the guy with the guitar that's making all the noise. So yeah. And so I ended up carrying my Uncle Stephen's casket to the car before they took it to the cemetery. It wasn't supposed to happen. It was kind of a last minute thing where they asked a couple people to carry it. So I ended up myself, my dad, Jamie, my Uncle Ian, my Uncle Donald, and one of my Uncle Stephen's other pals helped carry the casket. It wasn't as heavy as I thought it was. I thought it was going to be heavy, crazy heavy. I know there were 5 grown men helping me carry this thing, but you know what I mean. So, we took it out, and we were all walking the same pace kind of thing, and we ended up putting it on the trolley, and they put it into the car. We got into the car, and we drove off to the cemetery, and everybody looked, and we threw some of the dirt into the... And my dad's crematorium, it was a good service, but I barely knew him, so I couldn't relate as much. A good few things happened this year, but not as many as I would have liked. The biggest good thing was me meeting my girlfriend. That was a really good thing this year, was when I met Charlotte. We met on a bus. We had met a few years before in 4th year. I'm in 6th year now, so because I'm nearly 18. Go me. But so we ended up meeting on the bus, going to Heriot Watt. It was a university up in Scotland, in Edinburgh. And I ended up sitting by myself, and I asked her if I could sit next to her, and she said of course. So we ended up speaking, and about a few months later, I ended up asking her on a date to go see Fantastic Beasts, the new Harry Potter film that came out. And we've been boyfriend-girlfriend ever since. So yeah, that was one of the big things. So guys, it is now 12 o'clock. So Happy New Year, everybody. So Happy New Year, everybody. So, what do I hope from 2017? I hope that I keep making these videos. I hope I get to 100 subscribers by next Christmas. Please, everybody, get your friends to subscribe to me. Tell your friends about me. Get them to subscribe. Or even force people to subscribe to me. Like, when they're not looking, pick up their phone. Shakespeare Joker fan. Subscribe. And they'll get unknown videos, but they might like me anyway. Yeah, 100 subscribers by Christmas 2017. That'll be your Christmas present to me. I love you all. But yeah. I'm turning 18. I'm going to have a surprise for y'all. I'm not going to ruin it, but I'll have a surprise that you will either love or find interestingly weird. I don't know. It's up to you. I also have a charity event lined up, but I won't give too much away about that until, nearer the day. And also, I'm looking forward to the year anniversary of the channel. That's something I'll be looking forward to. Anyway, guys, so that's all the time I have right now. If you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, goodbye, and a happy new year, everybody.